now ready to present to you your race winners. So at this time, we'd like to welcome our special guests onto stage. We're going to begin with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, Constable Wallace, along with Constable Suski, joining Sheriff Fortier. Please give them a big round of applause joining us here at the Tour of Alberta. And now, we would like to call our Jersey presenters to the stage as we get ready to introduce you to today's winners. All of our winners today will be receiving flowers, compliments of our friends at Stems Floral here in Red Deer.
Yeah, I see him, but I'll get him. This will be one of
Ladies and gentlemen, we begin with our yellow race leaders jersey presented by the province of Alberta. This man has been the story here at the Tour of Alberta. He has been unstoppable, and he will remain in yellow after stage 2, running for Canada Pro Cycling from Slovakia. Please welcome your race leader, Peter Sagan! Peter is being presented the yellow jersey today by Steve Young, MLA, Edmonton Riverview. From our lovely Podium hostesses, ladies and gentlemen, one more time, your race leader, Peter Sagan! And as our presenters step off stage, we now move to the Subway Sprint Leaders jersey, the green jersey competition, going to the top sprinter here at the Tour of Alberta as riders sprint for points along the route and on the finish line. This man was incredible this week. He will have another jersey to put on his back, complementing the green of his Canada Pro Cycling kit. One more time for Peter Sagan! Presented the green jersey today by Ron Smart, a Subway franchisee. Another day, another jersey, and another great ride for this young man, as he is absolutely incredible. A standout. One more time in your Subway Sprint Leaders jersey for Peter Sagan.
So Sagan,
incredible, riding out of the Netherlands for the Belgian Pro Cycling Team. Give it up for Tom Jelte Slekter. Tom is being presented the Bud Crown King of the Mountain jersey by Todd Blundell from Labatt's.
And for King of the Mountain, Tom
Slekter. For Peter Sagan! Peter's being presented by Don Odell, the Assistant Vice President and Branch Manager of Red Deer, presenting the Canadian Western Bank Best Young Riders jersey. As a proud sponsor of the Best Young Rider, Canadian Western Bank is pleased to make a donation to Kids Sports Society of Alberta on behalf of today's jersey winner. This donation will help to ensure that kids in Red Deer have access to organized sporting programs that promote lifelong health and wellness. Today's check is being presented by Michael Hallowell, the Senior Vice President and Regional Manager for Canadian Western Bank in Northern Alberta. So a great cause, a great company, and a great rider in our Canadian Western Bank Best Young Riders jersey. Another kiss from the Podium hostesses for the young Peter Sagan. presented by Keith Ryder of Rural Alberta Development Fund. Ladies and gentlemen, this man deserves a huge round of applause. One more time for your most aggressive rider, Sagan Vetko. Ride is being presented today by Brian Jolly, the chairman of the Alberta Peloton Association. This is your champion. One more time for Ryder.
Being in the position he was, finishing third, did not have his lead really eaten away at all. He's continuing to add to it. He's 26 seconds ahead of the second place man, and that's Tobias Ludvigsen. Rowan Dennis is 26 seconds behind as well.
Yeah, the two men on the break weren't a threat really over to his overall lead as long as they stayed, you know, within a minute of the gap, and that's exactly what happened. They played it perfectly, and you know, he didn't have to win the stage, but it certainly showed that he's still got lots of form.
Interesting too, because we could see the Cannondale guys, they were leading the peloton for a while, but just didn't have, as you said, maybe the energy today to hold Sagan in a spot where he could really make a charge.
Yeah, I don't think they wanted to use up the energy of their riders right now. You know, they did some work. They just don't have to. This is the chairman of the local organizing committee from Red Deer, George Barry, and he's been working very, very hard here in Red Deer to help this race come to Red Deer.
They did a terrific job in Red Deer. The fans were fired up, and they were talking about it at the restaurants and the hotels last night about all the riders coming into town. And in second place, very strong finish for a second place finish for Sergei Vetkov of Jelly Belly.
Again, Sylvain Dellier just said it when he was being interviewed after the race. This is a big deal for him as a stagiaire rider, first-year pro.
Sylvain Dellier getting the introduction, and now the pictures start.
Challenge him to get that lamp home in one piece.
Yeah, he must ride with Switzerland. He must ride with it on the handlebars tomorrow.
For the city of Red Deer, receiving Native American gloves, hand-painted and trimmed.
Wow, those are beautiful, handmade Native American gloves, leather with the fur trim, handmade. That is something you'd want to keep and take home back to Switzerland for sure.
He's running out of spots there. Sylvain Dellier getting instructions on the handmade gloves and the whole process. Oh my goodness. Needs a shopping cart. He's gonna have to get a basket for his bike to take it home.
That's what's great when you come to these different countries, and they always hand out prizes that are sort of local to the region, and that's exactly what he's received here today from Red Deer, which is very, very exciting for him, and he'll be able to take those pieces home for his family to take a look at for sure. If you win a stage in Spain, for instance, you get a big piece of ham. That's really hard to take home.
And there is the podium for stage 2. Dillier of BMC, Tvetkov of Jelly Belly, and Sagan of Cannondale. Stage 2 of the Tour of Alberta.
Tvetkov and Sagan going 1, 2, and 3.
And on the right is the man to beat. That is Peter Sagan. He has the lead. He will wear the Province of Alberta leader's jersey for yet another day. He started it off with the prologue and has continued it, finishing third today behind Dillier and Tvetkov.
I talked to some